Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you very much. We'll do a little different tonight. Imagine that. We're going to take the agenda backwards. I do not have slide presentation. Do not have PowerPoint. I'm going to stand and deliver. Before I do, though, I have to disagree with my sister from another mister. I do appreciate you believing in your school's number one. But I'm not going to let that slide because I believe mine is. So we'll just have to agree to disagree and work together to get us both there. All right. And I'm speaking on behalf of 560 of the brightest stars in the United States. And that is the student population as of today at West Hamlin Elementary. 560. Last year, the second month report was 525. We're getting ready to put out on the sign, no room at the end. But we enjoy every one of them. They challenge us, and we look forward to each day. I don't have green and white. I don't have blue and gold. Tonight I'm sporting pink. Ladies, that's for you. This is October 1st. I have two members in my family who are breast cancer survivors, so it does mean something to me. And our staff will be wearing that each Wednesday. We did that last year, and that's a tradition that we voted on or talked about, and we're going to keep every Wednesday during our PLCs. That Wednesday morning, we're encouraging staff to wear pink. So, Mr. Davis, get it washed. We ironed tonight. All right, on to the agenda. Facility needs. Always a concern when we have LSIC meetings is the restrooms. We do the best we can, but it's just something that we have to keep our eye on. Again, 560 in a building. And we're not talking about people on a schedule. We're talking about little bitty babies. As soon as they drink, they're ready to go. Okay? And not so little bitty babies. So again, and Mr. Smith and I have talked about that, and we have, when one breaks down, they're real good about getting over and fixing it as quickly as they can. Another facility concern is consistent heating and cooling, and we have made great steps in addressing that. But it's just one of those things we want to make sure that we mention so that we stay aware. And George from Simcoe was here today and came in and shot the thermometer on it and said, okay, as soon as we get the humidity under control, we just want to feel like. And I said, okay, George, I got you. So we work on that. Front door is a security issue. If somebody goes out the left front door, it doesn't lock, and we've worked on that and looked at some pricing, so we hope to get that fixed pretty soon. And the last concern about facility came in our LSIC meeting is we have so many folks that use our community, our playground. It's a community playground, and we love that. Unfortunately, this time of year, folks forget to remove their trash. And what we've had in the last week or so, even more than earlier, it's bee season. When that trash is out there and our babies go out to play, those old yellow jackets get on them. And then we're doing some sting control. And I don't know what the arrangement was between county commission and school and custodians. We've put signage out, we've talked, we've asked people to call in when they're going to have a party. We want them to celebrate out there. But we really need them to pick up. And we need some help on how do we keep that cleaned up. Because if our daytime custodian goes out to clean that up, then they've been removed from the responsibilities within the building. And you know, when you have 560 and 2.5 custodians, they're going pretty much full bore all the time. So we need some advice on that and maybe some guidance on what to do with that, with the trash. We want folks to come out and enjoy the playground and use the overhangs and the picnic shelters and those kind of things, but we're not cleaning up after ourselves, and that concerns us as a school. Because we want our kids to be safe. Reports on innovative programs. we too were fortunate to receive a grant from Let's Move, right, Mrs. Pritchard, or a
ASAP grant.
okay, but it's a movement
It's
grant.
another grant, it's a different grant, yes.
Okay.
It's a different grant.
We do the morning jam. Come in any morning at 7:55 and you'll see anything from Let's Twist to Gangnam Style to anything in between. And it's just a great couple minutes. But when our kids arrive at 7:30, our TIS is on duty and we have music in the hallways until homeroom starts. So that's another thing that it's not uncommon to see little ones moving a little differently, and sometimes older ones moving a little differently. We have our healthy snack program. We're making use of outside agents, extension agents for 4th and 5th grade. We have a student from Marshall who will be coming to talk to our kindergarten 1st and 2nd about health and wellness. We had just completed a fundraiser, and we're working with DirecTV to upgrade our walking track. They're going to do a matching funds for us. We're going to kick in $5,000, and they're going to kick in $5,000, and they're going to provide the labor and the materials. All we had to do was $5,000, and we hope to see some really neat things happening with our walking track to get more things happening for our kids to go out and move, because we know that a healthy body makes a sharper mind. So we're trying to do that. Our parent volunteers, incredible. And I know that Sue has been talked about already this evening. We've got somebody stepping in who's going to be recommended, and we're going to miss Sue to some degree. We're not going to let her go all the way completely, Mr. Atkins. She's still going to be slapping us around from time to time, and that's good. And we're working together there. So we're going to be sharing up and sharing down, and that's going to broaden our community. And that's exciting to look at and to see. Our student patrols, we involve our students in student patrols. They help reinforce the rules and the policies and the procedures, both morning and night, during entry and dismissal. We have student council, where our students make suggestions and we act on that. We have special activities. One coming up is Red Ribbon Week. We recognize our students each 9 weeks. And one of the things that we're most proud of here at West Hamlin is the continued implementation of our technology. I mean, it's just incredible what you can accomplish when you put technology in the hands of students and adults, willing adults, and what can be accomplished to broaden our world. So that's just a few of the things. I'm going to move now to I'm going to show you a couple of slides. But before I do that, we are transitioning. We're transitioning into Smarter Balance. We're using Common Core, and we just have a whole lot of things, trajectories and learning and growth model and all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to show you a visual representation of how I understand it in just a couple minutes. But I want to show you what it looks like, because a community meeting is about education. And I want to show you what it looks like. But one of the things that I think that we all need to understand is every one of our schools starts on a different baseline. So wherever you start, you have to do certain things. And you're going to see in just a moment, we didn't meet our trajectory. We didn't meet our target index. I can explain it away all day. The bottom line is we didn't score as well as we did in the past. And our baseline was based on 2012 data, which was our highest year. So that's just the luck of the draw. I've fussed and cussed, and Mr. Lynn will tell you, I've cussed. Not proud of it, but some things you don't understand and you just have to wrestle with it. And I still don't understand our 5th grade scores, why they scored so low, when we used acuity benchmark, and listen to this, we used the same benchmark at the beginning of the year as we did at the end of the year. At the beginning of the year, our 5th graders were 52% proficient. Good indicator. At the end of the year, 74% proficient in reading language arts. 24% growth. Lovely. We're ready for the West test. We get the results back. 33%. Don't know. Actually had to show it physically to Mr. Linville the other day, and he said, I want that. Because our writing and our reading language arts scores are exactly the same. I'm not accusing the state of making a mistake, and I'm not a mathematician, but what are the probabilities of everything being the same? Don't know. All right, let's look at some stuff. This is common knowledge. You can find it in West Virginia Department of Education. And this shows and will address questions 1, A, B, C, D, through there, and I'll just talk about each one of them. And question 1 says your school designation. So when you go to the State Department, you click on My School's Performance, and you click on Lincoln County and West Hamlin, this is what you'll see. And it tells you that we are a support school. Okay? And Mr. Adkins gave a definition of the different types of school. We're a support school, so we need more support. That's nothing new for West Hamlin. We've been a SIG school since I've been here. So it's not like it's something that we're not used to or accustomed to, and we're okay with that. Unfortunately, you'll see that we did not meet our index. We did not meet any of our targets. We were well below that trajectory. So we should just fold our tents and we got a plan. We got a plan. So, to answer your questions, our school designation is a support school. We did not meet our index score. We were 41. Our target was 61. We didn't meet at least 50% of our targets of math and reading. Did we improve? No. What percent of students are catching up in math? All of our students in the also group, 29% are catching up. What percent are keeping up in math? 62%. That's strong. 62%. That's strong. Special ed, catching up, 25%. Keeping up, 71%. We're on the right track. The numbers just, they look kind of funky. Some statisticians got their hands on stuff, and I'm wrestling with it. And I think we all are. And we're all going to get some more training on the 15th, the way I understand. Did we improve in reading? No. All students catching up, 28%. All students keeping up, 40%. Special education, catching up, 75%. Special education, 29%. We're moving. The thing is with growth, and when you start looking at the percentiles, you have low growth, medium growth, or typical growth, and high growth. We're going to look at that in just a second. But I'd like to report out our participation rate in West Test was 100%, and our attendance rate, 96.7. Our kids like being here. They like coming here. Do we have some issues with an isolated few? Yes. And we continue to work with them. And I also would like to say thank you to Mr. Pritchard and Mr. Linville and the counselors for building this program to address those kids at risk, because we need a little extra support. And thank you all for making sure that that happens so that we get that, because we can't help them if we can't get them here. I would like to show you another slide. Looks like this. That's the growth model. Now, take a look. You can see in math, now this is the all subgroups, okay? And it's 4th and 5th grade. If you take a look at math, you will see typical growth. It's all yellow in that middle column. So we're experiencing in math typical growth. That's not necessarily a bad thing, folks. Typical growth may not be bad, because when you look at the percent proficient, 47% are proficient in the all subgroup in math, and only 45% of the state is proficient. I'll take typical growth as long as we're better than the state. Yeah, I would. And I am. Okay, and this is the way that I'm explaining it to the staff at West Hamlin. We're still wrestling with it. So you can look and you will see that in math we're doing pretty well. In reading, you see some red. That's low growth. 42 and 48. 6%, we need to do a little work. The other one in 5th grade, 29, 42. We know we need to look at that. Why did we score 33? That we don't know. We were using acuity. We were using acuity is what we believe. And I'm going to show you something in just a minute that might help you understand that. But before I do, come on, baby. There we go. Happy fingers. This is what it breaks down and looks like, guys. That's the down and dirty. That's every lottie-dottie and everybody at West Hamlin, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Take a look. It breaks it down. No names, but you can see again, in all math, we're experiencing typical growth. Yes, we'd like to have high growth, but our trajectory, if you're up here, and my sister from another mister, we've talked about this, and she's shaking her head in agreement. It's hard to maintain. When you're up there, you can't get these big jumps. It's just impossible, almost. Now, if she could figure out a way, she probably would. All right. Over here with our red. It's interesting because if you look, even with our low growth, we're not that far away from the county and state. Actually, in a couple areas, we're a little bit above. Our special ed kids in reading language arts are actually above the county and the state with 19% proficient with low growth. So when you start looking at this stuff, you have to be real careful. Because when you see that red, it's like, oh! Nope. You got to look at all of it because it'll blow your mind. And I'll be telling you, it touched me for 2 or 3 weeks. All right, and then you can see
Still hanging on.
it's still hanging. You sit. I know. That's all right. We're gonna talk later. No SES. We're at 42, but if you look at the county and the state, they're at 40% proficient. And in our last subgroup, we're just a few percentage points from being at the state and county level. It's just low growth. How do we address that? We stay